Hey guys, it's Tiara and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm doing a little mini tutorial, I guess you could say, on the steps that I take and the mods and CC items that I use to make all of my Sims. Now, I'm not going to be showing you exactly like what slider settings, like what slider number all my sliders go on, because then your Sims will look exactly the same. But I'll be showing you my NRAS settings, the world I use to create my Sims, my default skin, and the items that I most use. I will try and link the items in the description below, and the mods will definitely be in the description below. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right into the video. Now, the first thing that I do use is this world, and it is Create a Sim World. And basically, what it does is it just loads Create a Sim wicked quick, like in a matter of like maybe, like 20 to 30 seconds. And it just loads really fast because once you see how the world loads up and what the world contains, you'll probably realize. But when everything loads up, I will be right back. Okay, so this is what the world looks like, and like I said, it's literally nothing to load up. But I kind of did tell a little white lie. I said that it would take 20 to 30 seconds, which it probably will for you, but it took me about 2 to 3 minutes. But that's only because I have like 23 gigabytes of custom content, so let's just ignore that fact and the fact that I have an addiction. But anyways, this is just a world. You can add lots to it, but I don't really do that, just because what I do is I go straight into create a household. And from here on, you do need 2 mods to enable everything that I have in my game. You will need NRAS Master Controller and NRAS Master Controller Integrator. Now basically, Master Controller, you probably know what it does. It just allows more sliders. It Master controls literally everything in the game. I will show you my settings for Master Controller. And then the Integrator is just a little mod that you don't need to really do anything with once it's in your game. It just enables all of your settings for any type of Create a Sim. Like if you're entering Create a Sim from the main menu, from the cheat in game, if you're going through a dresser or something, no matter which way you enter Create a Sim, it'll enable all of your Master Controller settings. Now, I didn't know about this for the longest time, and I always found myself having to move a Sim into a house and then from there enable the settings. But from now that I have this mod, I can do it in any way I enter Create a Sim, and it is extremely helpful because I don't always want to put a Sim in a household and then edit them and make them, because it's just a pain, because then you have to put them in the lot and then do the free real estate cheat, and I don't have the time nor energy for that. But just kidding, I have like the most time and the most energy most of the time, but I just don't feel like doing it. But the integrator is just so helpful. And if I sound a little tired in this video, it's 10 o'clock. I got up a half an hour. Well, I got up at 5:30, and then I got up at 9:30 after I fell asleep and my laptop hit the ground. But I'd rather not talk about it. Let's just ignore that happened. Okay, we're in game. Let's stop the rambling. Okay, so the first thing that I do when I enter Create a Sim is I right click on the options menu of the 3 dots. And because I have Master Controller Integrator on, it won't bring up the normal options menu. It'll bring up this. Now for my settings, I'll go from the bottom. I start with the facial slider set to 4, which just multiplies the effect of the sliders by 4. And then I set the body ones to 4 as well. I'm sorry, I have the hiccups since now I'm yawning. It's probably like hella annoying, but sorry not sorry, I guess. And then clothing for showing compact form, I set that to true. And I also set showing compact form accessories to true, and I'll show you what that does later. And then part sorts order, I always do custom at the top, and then that is supposed to make your menu for NRAS look a little bit wider and bigger. It's no big deal, it just does that. And then multiple makeup per location should be true. Multiple accessories per location should be true. And then the most important thing other than the slider multiples is this setting right here. It's max sliders in Create a Sim. Now Create a Sim usually only allows 100 sliders in your game, and well, like it allows more than 100 sliders, but only 100 of them will be functionable, and they pick a random 100 to be functionable. So I have like at least 235 just custom content sliders. So what I do is I set max sliders as a habit to 20,000, and that is not necessary at all. I could probably set it to like 400 and it would work, but you know, gotta be extra at all times. So I just set 20,000, and then I go up. I set disable clothing filter to everyday because I only dress my Sims for every day, and this enables every single piece of clothing from every single category for every day. And those are my settings. So just take a quick look at them. I'll probably post a screenshot or a link to a screenshot in the description below. If I don't, remind me to do that in the comments. Okay, now let's get right into the sim making. Okay, so the first important thing that I use in Create a Sim as far as custom content items go is a default skin. Now basically what a default skin is, it means that it is the direct overlay before you add another skin, like over here on top of it. Now in most cases a default skin would be an EA skin, you know, that, sorry, I'm out of breath, that not ugly skin, but that unattractive skin that is on your sim before you add a custom skin. So I basically got rid of that default skin and made this skin my default skin. And this skin is the Star Fruit skin by Kuro Sabrina, and it's the default hairless version. I'm so out of breath, it's ridiculous, and I don't know why, sorry. I'll try to, you know, gain my composure. But basically this is the default skin, and basically what I use for skins other than that is the Starfruit skin. I use a different Starfruit skin on top of the default one because the default skin that I use is just the regular Starfruit, but the one that I use as an overlay is Candied Starfruit. It's this one, and it comes in 2 ramps. It comes in like darker colors and lighter colors. So that's one thing that I use. So the next thing that I use other than the default skin is an EA eyelash remover by S Club. Now, like I said, link will be in the description below. And as you can see on this sim, just what it does is it gets rid of the EA lashes. And that is so you can use S Club's eyelashes or any custom eyelashes without having the ugly EA lashes underneath. I hate to call things by EA ugly, but in my opinion, okay, when I say ugly, it's in my opinion. Like, they're ugly lashes, I'm sorry. But what I use are all these S Club eyelashes. I use eyelashes from sets 1, 2, and 3, but mostly set 3. And the eyelashes that I use the most are these, right here. And as far as eyelashes go, I have some sliders that I will show you. They're under eyes, obviously they're eyelash sliders. And I only use one of the sliders, but I think you have to download them as a set, but there aren't that many and it shouldn't slow down your game. I use eyelash top length, which as you can see just makes the eyelashes really short or really long. Okay, so as far as the first makeup item I use goes, it is this Outsider ear blush, and basically just what it does is adds a red blush to the ears. And I just think it's really cute and not really realistic because I feel like most people don't have ear blush all the time, but I really like it. So that is one of the things that I use. Eyeliner, I don't really use anything other than for the S Club eyelashes. Blush, I'll have to check because, I do use one item on all of my Sims, which I probably shouldn't because it makes all of them pretty much look the same. I use dimples right here. I don't know who they're by, so hopefully I can track them down, but these are the dimples. And what I do is they are yellow and blue currently, but I set both channels to white in Create a Style, and then I set the opacity down, and it just gives her dimples. Right now on this sim it doesn't look right, but once you play with sliders it'll definitely look right. Lipstick, okay, before I used this default skin and the skin that I'm currently using, I used number 77 by Tifa Sims all the time. But now I don't really use lipstick on my Sims. I feel like it looks weird with this skin, but that lipstick will be in the description below. Then for costume makeup, I really only use contacts. Now I will send you a link to where I get all of my contacts from because my contacts literally differ for every sim. Like, I don't use one set of contacts like I used to all the time. I used to use one set of contacts for all my Sims, and I used to get so much, not shit, but like comments that, oh my god, all your Sims look the same, you use the same contacts, same eyebrows, blah blah blah. Like, I get it, you don't need to say it, like, I'm clearly aware, like, it's not an accident, like, I do it on purpose just because I love these contacts so much. But these are just some of the contacts that I have. I have quite a few sets of contacts, but you know, I will put the link to where I get all of my contacts from. And then I use this little thing. It's Perfect Teeth by Moonskin 93, and it just, if I go into my mouth settings, my lip settings, it is a replacement for the teeth, but it's not a default replacement. You actually have to put it on. It just makes the teeth that scary. Let's see. Look really, that's not what I wanted to do. Upper lip up. You can kind of see, like, she probably looks really weird right now. Upper lip tug, no. You can see how realistic the teeth look and how, like, not perfect they are, but they're called perfect teeth, but I just feel like it looks more realistic than the normal Sims 3 teeth. So that's all I use for makeup. Then if we go into sliders, I will show you which sliders I use the most. So I already showed you the S Club sliders for eyelashes that I use. Then I use ear scale, ear point, ear width, ear rotate, ear height thickness, and ear width. For eyes, I use 2 sliders other than the S Club eyelash sliders. I use iris size, which just changes the size of, like, the outer eye, not the pupil. And then, speaking of pupils, I do use the pupil dilate slider that just makes the pupils bigger. With default eyes and not contacts, it'll look really weird. Like, look how big her eyes are. But when you use contacts, it looks a lot different. Eyebrows sliders that I use curve, curve, thickness, is it rotate? No, rotation right here, just rotates the eyelashes. And that's all I use for that. For nose sliders, she probably looks really funky right now because I'm not, like, showing you the exact numbers that I use. Nose settings, I use nostril definition, nostril height, nostril rotate, basically all the nostril sliders. Then I use nose tip scale. And then for mouth, most of the sliders that I use are located under the mouth section, and they're not even mouth sliders. Oh, I forgot to show you one thing. Well, 2 things actually. Under head and ears, I use 1 slider under head and ears. That has nothing to do with head or ears. It is a sim height by CMAR, and it just literally changes the sim's height. And then under nose, I use, let's see, the hand size slider, which obviously is self-explanatory. Changes the size of the hands. Not that small. I usually do it around like that. And then if you can see that it makes the forearm look a lot bigger than the hand, and it looks funny. But if you go under mouse sliders, what it'll do is you can change the front forearm lateral width, which just makes it fit with the hand. And then you can also change the forearm frontal width, which just makes the forearm even more synced up. And then for other mouse sliders, like general mouse sliders that don't change the mouth but change other things, I use the butt slider because, you know, my Sim's gonna have a big booty. Not huge, but, you know, I don't want her to be flat. I mean, if you're flat, that's fine, but, like, my Sims, I like them to have a little bit of junk in the trunk. Butt waist height I use, let's see, hip size and hip width, leg width, mouth curve, mouth corners rotate, waist, which, like, makes the waist smaller. Then for upper lip, I used to use upper lip thickness, but I don't anymore. Now I just use upper lip tug, upper lip tug, upper lip tug and upper lip curve. And for bottom lip, I use the tug and the curve as well. And I also use it's under upper lip. I use lip corner shape and lip shape, which just changes, like, how the top lip and bottom lip fit together. And that is really all I use for sliders. Now for clothing, I don't use clothing specifically to my Sim, but I do use accessories specific to all of my Sims. Accessories, so many, but I only use a certain few on every single Sim. My game isn't really that laggy, not as laggy as it should be, but I'm not gonna jinx it. Cross your fingers, knock on wood. I had to find wood because my desk is glass, but the keyboard tray is wood. Okay, let's see. In order, first thing that I use is this nose piercing. It's just a stud, and I always do it on the right side because I use another piercing on the left side. The piercing I use on the left side is the Spiral Nose Ring by Leah Lilith, if I can find it right here. And I always use the black and silver one. And then that special thing that I didn't want to give you guys, but I just had to be generous, was this arrow piercing. It's like an industrial piercing. I always use the right one. It goes right here. It comes in black and white, but is fully recolorable. So if you want a red one, you can have a red one. If you want a purple one, you can have a purple one. And then the next thing that I use is this. It's just a belly ring, navel piercing by Praline Sims, and you can't really see it, but I don't want to change my sim because then it'll take forever. But this is what it looks like. You can see it clearly in the thumbnail. And then the next thing that I use on every sim, these are the eyelashes that I use by Centiclia. I'll put those in the description below. I mostly use S Club, but I do use these often as well, so I'll just put the link. Next thing that I use on all of my sims are 2 sets of nails. I rotate them. These are the Praline Sims LA Vogue nails. They come in like different options, like they have matte, glossy, or matte like nail bed with a glossy tip, like a metallic tip. And I sometimes use these Shiny Claws by Leo Lilith. And then the next thing that I use on every sim, well, the next 2 things, I only use 2 things on every sim. I use this, which just adds a blush to all the joints, like the knees, the fingers, the elbows, the heels, and the collarbone, and around the stomach, I think. And then the last thing that I use is this, and it's a female body definition. Like if you look at the knees, like watch, I take it off and then I put it on. It just adds more definition to your sim, and it adds like stomach definition and collarbone definition, and I just like it. I don't know why. I've always had it in my game and I've always used it, I guess you could say. But that's really all that I use to make my sims. Like I said, I'm not going to show you exactly which slider numbers I use because they're pretty much the same for every sim, and if I gave you the numbers, all of your sims would look like mine, and I'm not about to do that because, you know, it's not a selfish thing, but like you wouldn't want everybody sims to look like yours. Like, think about it from my point of view, but I'm not going to get into it. Like, I'm not mad, I'm not butthurt, and I'm not trying to be selfish like I said. But I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Twitter to stay updated with all things channel related. Link will be in the description below, as well as my new Simbler roleplay account for Tumblr. Already said it. It'll be in the description below, and all the links to all the items / sliders that I showed will be in the description below. I might even, if I find out that this is technically okay, because it is, because some of the sliders that I use aren't even available anymore, but I want you guys to have them. I will actually put the link to my slider folder in the description below so that you can download all of my sliders. And if anybody has an issue with it, like any of the creators, I will take it down. So get it while you can. And to all the creators that are watching this, which you probably aren't, if you don't like me using or putting your sliders in a direct folder, I will take it down. Just message me in any way that you can, comment, and they'll be taken down. Love you guys so much. Bye.